What is up, YouTube? Um, yes. So now the series is called Beginner Fitness Tips. So this is episode number 4, where I'm gonna be discussing supplementation in the beginning of somebody's fitness journey. Supplementation, as the name says, it supplements. It supplements when you're not getting enough protein when trying to build muscle. You supplement with whey protein. When you need help with sleeping, supplement with zinc and magnesium. When you low on energy, you supplement with pre-workout. It needs to be clear that it supplements. It's not the answer. It's not replacing. You can't replace bad form. You can't replace lack of sleep. you know but the main thing is that when you're beginning your fitness journey, you do not need supplementation, because you need to allow your body to exhaust whatever naturally you have. There is a time, it's called beginner's gains. If your goal is to gain muscle, it's beginner's gains. Roughly, in my experience, for me, it was about, I think, almost a year, around there, if I can't really recall, but where I was making progress without even thinking about supplementation. So you need to exhaust your natural resources, I can say that, or your natural abilities, before you can consider supplementation. Okay, so now you've been training for 6 months, and now this person that I'm speaking to now, their goal is to gain weight, gain muscle, now be lean and all the nice stuff. So you've been now consistent for 6 months. You're eating well, you're sleeping well, you're consistent at the gym. Your form, you've gotten your form, you know how to do the exercises, you have nice program, everything is in place. I think only then you must consider using supplements. Once again, the key or the emphasis is on supplement. It supplements. It does not get something that you don't have. So now, if you're not eating enough protein, or you're not eating a decent amount of protein, you can't put in whey protein. Yes, unfortunately, it's very challenging if you're trying to gain muscle to reach your protein intake goals without supplementation, because the formula when you're trying to gain muscle mass, this formula is in pounds, in pound. So now if you weigh 100 kilograms, which is 220 pounds, and then the formula says it's either you get a gram or a gram and a half, even 2 grams of protein, for you to be able to gain muscle mass. So now, meaning now that formula says that if you're weighing 100 kilograms, which is 220 pounds, if I'm not mistaken, but it's around the 210, 215 pounds. It means that it says that you need to get at least 300 grams of protein per day. That is challenging with only food. So in that situation, you definitely need to supplement. But once again, it is important that you understand that supplement is. Okay, let's go back to now our person. 6 months consistent, everything is good. Now they've hit a plateau. They're no longer gaining muscle, or they're no longer progressing. where to go or where to start. For me personally, my experience, and it's unfortunate that I didn't know this earlier. I only figured it out maybe 2-3 years ago. Creatine monohydrate. I'm gonna repeat. Creatine monohydrate. That should be the foundation of your supplementation stack, because creatine is something that is found in majority. I know that the food that has the most per gram or per kilogram, it's beef. Creatine monohydrate or creatine, but preferably monohydrate. It will help you with gaining strength. It will help you to gain muscle. It will feed your body. It's I'm gonna link um research below regarding creatine, but creatine should be the foundation. Supplementation, multivitamins, you also want to need that, because now you're going to the gym, your joints, they under a decent amount of pressure, or a decent amount you're using them, so you're gonna need something to help with the supplement, with the nutrition, to make sure that you're reaching those goals, your calcium, all of that. You can add that. Whey protein, as I said, if you're trying to gain muscle, and then you've got your formula for how many grams of protein you should be having a day. As I said, it's highly unlikely to achieve. You can try, but it will be challenging to reach your protein intake with only food. It will be challenging. Pre-workout, I feel pre-workout is optional. You can have it for those days you need a kick. You need something to get to there. But pre-workout you can do without. If you can just have a banana and a black coffee with some honey, before gym, and maybe like also put a little bit of salt. I've found that it helps. That formula, the banana, black coffee, with a little bit of salt, it definitely helps me to focus, on the training. So that's on the supplementation. I'm gonna link the video below. I'm gonna link research regarding creatine below, and perhaps maybe I'll do a separate video just on creatine. But creatine, for me, that is the foundation of your supplementation stack. Thank you for watching. Any questions, please write them below. Suggestions, all of that, and do all the nice things. Subscribe and like, and share, and all the nice stuff. Thank you.